Hi, I'm Bob Payne. I'm 33. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I've been playing drums for about 24 years. I started when I was a kid, probably about 7 years old, playing snare drum in elementary school. Worked my way up to a drum set, probably junior high school, and into high school. Started getting into bands and playing out and doing a cover band thing and writing originals. And as a kid, we'd have to have adults sign us in at the bar, because we'd only be 14, and trying to play these clubs and that, and it was a lot of fun. After I did that all through high school. When I got out of high school, I went in the military for 6 years, and I got the chance to travel and get to play in Korea and Denver, Colorado, and South Carolina. Played the scene down there for about 3 years, and then moved back, home to Detroit. And since then, I've been doing the scene down here. I went through a kick where I really got into the blues, and I really wanted to learn how to shuffle real good, and really get the blues side of things down. And I went off and did that for quite a while, and then I turned back around and did a little bit of fusion jazz, and eventually led me back to my true love was just rock and roll and heavy metal music. My influences, range. I mean, my favorite drummer of all time was Buddy Rich. Carl Palmer was another, one of my favorites. I practiced physical graffiti, playing John Bonham. I used to practice that for hours, man, just on end, just trying to learn them backbeats and grooves and stuff, you know. So my influences really, really range. I love Liberty DeVito from Billy Joel. There's so many. I can't even go into all of them. There's just so many, and I'm inspired by everyone who plays, and that's where I stand on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Payne on the drums.
I want people to feel, the music that when I'm playing and I'm doing a solo or whatever have you. I really want to convey that energy over. I think that's very important, as much as the playing as it is your passion of how you're playing. You know, I get the biggest kick out of it when I, step down from a stage or get through doing a solo, and people are just blown away by, the energy level or your style of playing, and how your faces, your emotion, and whatnot. And to me, that says a lot, and that's what drives me to play. when I can move people in that sense and try to convey what I'm feeling and have them feel it, that there's nothing more rewarding than when it comes across, that way. When I was a kid, we used to go to my friend's house, and his parents would be out of town, and we'd throw these parties. And actually, what we didn't throw them, his brother was about 4 years older than us, and they'd have parties, and we were just allowed to kind of hang out. But there was this drum set in the basement, and it was his dad's kit. I want to say it was an old Rogers kit. It was like a Gene Krupa old black, oyster finish kit, man, just cool. But we used to go down there and mess around on it all the time and play AC/DC songs and different things and just have a good time with it. And when we throw these parties, though, I mean, it'd be like an Animal House type party. It'd be just packed and drunk kids and keg beer and whatnot. And, it was the coolest thing because they'd always want to get me, being that you play drums. And of all things, they'd want you to play Wipeout, and I'd play Wipeout, and people would go crazy, and then you do a drum solo, and they just loved it. And I mean, I was probably about 13 years old, and I think that really, really inspired me, just seeing, getting that attention and how many people just loved it, and just being able to perform for people like that was great. And I think that's kind of what led me to where I am today. 2002 was a rough year for me. I had a ladder accident and I shattered my elbow. When I shattered my elbow, it literally shattered the ball, and they had to do surgery and put a metal ball and a metal rod in my arm. And I had this big contraption on my arm, and with pins in it and these big baseball-looking stitches, and it was nasty. It was a 5-hour surgery and about $60,000, to have it fixed. And it was pretty traumatic, because I mean, it kind of put me out of the scene for about a year, and that was real hard for me. Although in that year's period of time, I still played and rehearsed with different bands, and occasionally sat in with bands, even with this contraption on my arm. And because I was supposed to use it and do things and try to exercise, and I figured what better way than playing the drums. But I really truly believe that by the time my right arm got better, my left arm and legs were overcompensating for the injury to my arm. And when this arm finally caught up, to the left arm and my feet, actually it made me a lot better player. It forced me to work a lot harder and to get back to where I wanted to be. And I wouldn't recommend that to nobody, break your arm to get better, but honest to God, I believe it helped me quite a bit.